Good morning. Hopefully everybody's doing all right. Thought I'd give you a 5 minute video instead of a 6 page paper on the last little green market thing. Um, I not sure where to start, but um, so what we've got is the Nash report wasn't really bearish. It was actually pretty supportive, but the media took it, the ag media took it and ran with it. That since they increased U.S. production by 10%, that was extremely bearish. I mean, they're just giving a reason why the market dumped. The market dumped because the funds sold 11,000 contracts. They've been doing that quite frequently, and you're not going to have very much buying power step up on a Friday with a month end, quarter end, and all that together. So, combined it all, that's what it ended up in being a watershed moment. So, the supportive part of that was the stocks. The stocks are the exact same as last year. So, they're saying our crop was 10% bigger, yet by this time here in September, the crop, or is it October today? Here as of October 1st, the stocks are the same. So theoretically, demand is booming compared to last year, because if the wheat crop was that much bigger, we use that much more, right? So I take that as pretty supportive. I still think they're overestimating the crop a little bit, the U.S. crop, which means the demand's not as booming as that would suggest. But it's still, we've hit a value area, and the exporters are moving it, the importers are buying it, the feed users are using it. It's full steam ahead. So I've been through the balance sheet quite a bit in the reports, but that doesn't change. That doesn't change at all. Russia's got depending on which analyst you listen to, if you listen to USDA, they've got a 6 million metric ton less crop than last year. If you listen to the Sovicon guy, they've got a 10 less, and his number continues to drop, or he's down 11 from last year. The Canadians are down significantly. They're in the 20s, the upper 20s. USDA, remember, USDA started at 37 or 8, something like that. I started at 31, and now everybody's under 30. Argentina, their average is 15. No, their average is 20, and they're going to come out at 15 or so. Australia is still looking like 23 to 25. Last year they were 39. So that's a 14 to 16 million metric ton drop from last year. They don't have a large carryout. They moved it all. That's where our demand went for our white wheat crop. I was in disbelief they could raise a 39 million. That's almost a double crop. That'd be like the Pacific Northwest raising 400 million bushels, when I think the biggest we've ever had is around 310 million bushels. But so the balance sheet is just too tight. It is too tight, and you're going to see that tightness come to fruition as we go through the fall. I'm excited. When I look at the balance sheet and I look at the prospects for next year, I can't help but get excited about the whole thing and think we're going to have some tremendous opportunities. The hard part is we got to get through the next month, and I don't know. The funds have no reason not to keep selling, because they're successful at it. They can sell, and they can push the futures to $4 even if they want, or $1.40 down if they want to. Nothing's stopping them from that. There's no delivery period coming until December, and they are the market. They're 25% of the open interest, which shows you the market is broken. They should never be that much open interest. For example, corn has a similar short position building, and they're at 9% open interest. So, that open interest is what shows you the size of each trade group. So just the fact that one speculative group is that large of percentage shows you the market is failing to be a good price discovery tool. So one of the things I've been looking for was the white wheat to hit $7 or above. by, I said the first week in October, I think, if we were going to be on pace and everything was right. We did that last Tuesday. We hit $7. The farmer sold a bunch. Backed off a little bit, came back to $7 on Thursday. And then Friday we hit that report, and the market started out at 660 and then closed at 675. So I don't know how you call it. I said we needed to see 7 or above by October. We did, but then we hit the report. So I guess I need another week to kind of gauge what that's going to do. But I feel like demand's booming. I mean, we had 6.7 million bushels of white wheat sold last week on the export report. That is almost double the pace we need. Our average, our 6 week average is around 4.6 million bushels, 4.6 million bushels a week, which is almost a million bushels a week over the average needed. So that's, we're moving the stuff, and the forecasts continue to show Australia dry. One bearish note, slightly bearish, is the Russian weather looks to be shifting a little bit. I noted that ridge was starting to, on my last report, I think I said the ridge was starting to compress a little bit. Well, it continued, and they've got a chance of showers in the central region. Not looking for a lot of rain, between 1/10 and 1/4 inch, but it appears that ridge is starting to break down. So we'll see if it continues to break down. If it does, they may still get a stand of wheat, but they're running way behind, and the odds of them getting a good establishment like they did last year and the year prior are not nearly as good. So we'll keep an eye on that. But anyway, the point being, just like I say, we got to figure out how to get through this next month. I know a lot of people would like to get some wheat off the books, and call options aren't a bad move. I mean, it's tough to recommend calls when the funds are that big of a position and continue to pile on it. It's just like, man, how low is low? How can they push their position even more? Well, yeah, they can. So it's tough to recommend that, but it's cheap. I mean, it's cheaper than storage and cheaper, than interest combined. So you put those together, it's not a bad option. So, but anyway, it's just a tough climate, folks. All I can say is hang in there a bit, and let's see how this goes. The war continues to escalate. You've got some reports of some massive Ukrainian surrenders of the troops. They're about done. They're tired of being in the meat grinder. The loss of life is just catastrophic. So they're trying to give up, but NATO's not letting them. NATO's starting to put in, it sounded like British troops are going to enter into the war starting now. One of the Russian senior officials said that they're apt to take aim at Germany now. So we're starting to expand outside the border, and NATO is going to start pushing in some bigger guns and aim at Russian installations. So, the odds of seeing no Black Sea disruption continue to shrink. At some point they're going to hit a ship, going to hit a port. And, I said that last year about the Ukrainian port, so we finally hit one, but the hedge funds didn't care. They just sold it anyway. So, what's it going to take to blow them out of that position? I don't know. I really don't. But something's got to happen at some point. I mean, you got two trains heading together, right? You got the fundamental train with stocks of usage, borderline record tight, borderline 0708 tight. When we went to $15, $20 hard red spraying, and this year you're going to be close to that, and here we are at $6 hard red spraying, $5 Chicago. So makes no sense at all. But I'm not expecting the 15-20 like that. I'm expecting more of with the macro situation we got, I'm expecting more of an $8-9 white wheat for starters, and then we'll see what hard red spring does, depending on what China does. The good news is we avoided the government shutdown, at least for 45 days. They got a 45-day extension. I was kind of upset about that because we're just starting to see China move and buy the wheat that we thought they'd buy, and if they shut the government down, then they wouldn't have to buy any. I mean, no, they could buy whatever they wanted. We wouldn't get any reports. So as it is, the reports will still be coming, the export reports. So that makes me happy. Anyway, that's about all I know. Walked here. I was gone a day or two, and my wife told me it poured while I was gone. So I was excited to come out and see how much rain we got. And usually when the wife says it poured, usually means we get about 500s, 600s. So, you know, I guess what my wife considers pouring rain and what I consider pouring rain are different. So, hit my rain gauge. It's full of bugs. It looks like 900s. Yeah, right as expected, 900s. So, anyway, but yeah, let's see how the week goes. Hang in there. Holler if you need some help. I'll be there. Thanks.